It smells so good in here. What the
Oh my god.
Alright, what's up guys? So we're here at La Petite Veganerie. It's a French restaurant that just opened in Berlin 2 months ago. And I brought a real French guy. How's the romantic lighting? Is it giving a good vibe? Can you wanna go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Camille. I grew up in France, which matters a lot for this video. And I've been in Berlin for 3 years. And yeah, I'm keen to try some vegan dishes.
Cool. Well, let's see what they got on the menu. Alright, so basically what just happened was the menu is in German, but the names of stuff were in French. So Camille was able to basically read it. And he knows some German anyways. But so what we ended up getting was, well, y'all are going to see it, but I think the most exciting thing we got is we got a 3D printed plant steak. Or like we got a 3D printed steak, and it's plant-based.
Yeah, that's really cool. We also got onion soup, which has crispy cheese on top. We got coq au vin, and we got Tartiflette as a side. So nothing is like vegan by its original form.
Yeah, so we're really excited to see how they make it work, how they make it meaty. These are all like meat-based dishes, so
Or cheese.
or cheese-based dishes. So yeah, and we got red wine, of course. So all right, salut,
Cheers. Santé.
santé, shit, santé,
Salut.
whatever. Salut.
Is important.
Cheers. Explain it to us.
Tapenade is from the south, and I'm from the south. So, it's a very important thing to have with bread. You can have as much or as little as you want. It's basically olives and olive oil and all the good things. That's very good. Alright, this is
Oh wow, smoky bread.
your first time.
You know what? I don't like olives,
What?
but this isn't bad. I'm an olive hater actually, and you know what? I think I'm gonna have more.
So, Danish.
Dime.
Vegan food, as in like from a recipe point of view, must have changed a decent amount in the last 15 years. Let's say 20.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, I don't know, tonight we're eating 3D printed steak. I'm not saying that's like an everyday item, but clearly things are I don't know, things are being invented, things are changing. Where do you see vegan recipes and food being like in 20 years? What do you think is going to happen to habits of vegans and how they cook and what they make and all that kind of stuff?
So I really hope that people are just in general sticking to the basics as well. I know it's a bit of a boring answer, but I hope people are eating legumes and beans and lentils and fresh fruits and veggies and whole grains. I hope people at least know that the basics are really, really health promoting. So I hope people are a little bit more informed on nutrition as well.
None of that hyped fake meat stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that plant-based meat is a lot more available. You know, lab-grown meat or like cultured meat is probably going to be available, and hopefully that'll help people make the decision, or it'll make the decision easier for people to switch to not eating animals. I hope people are more cognizant about the impacts of animal agriculture on the environment, what happens to animals in the industry. So, you know, it's no secret that you're very open-minded, especially when it comes to eating differently.
It's no secret. Everyone knows.
I mean, he's always coming to these videos, and he's like begging to be in these videos. Roll the tape.
I want you to take me to as many places like this.
Oh yeah, it's so nice.
Yeah,
awesome.
exactly. You've already told me that you started eating a lot less meat. Why?
Less meat, why?
Yeah.
Ooh, it's a good question because, see, I lived in Sweden for a while, and I think that was my first exposure to like, honestly, like mainstream vegetarianism and veganism. Like before that, I was in London and France. It's like it was a rarity that like even confronted with that. And I think in Sweden was the first time where I don't know, I had colleagues and stuff like, you know, there was always a choice that was vegetarian. You have to like think of that in barbecues and stuff. It's a thing.
Yeah.
And it's present. Like you don't assume that everyone eats meat, and that was crazy to me. And yet, I don't think I changed much of my habits until like even here. So it's a good question. I think for sure that like one of the main factors is environmental. But why did that happen here and not before in my life? That's hard to answer. I don't know. I feel like probably a mix of like the people I met, the conversations I had.
Yeah.
And, like, there's definitely a culture here of being a bit, I don't know, we'll talk about this stuff. People like to think a bit further than like you buying stuff and having the consequences of like purchasing and stuff. That's definitely stuff people talk about. So something happened and it clicked where I'm like, right, I can't just ignore the consequences of my cheap meat.
You were an athlete in your past life. Or you are an athlete.
I'm not an athlete, no, sure.
Once an athlete, always an athlete. And do you think that influenced a lot of your meat eating before? And, and how does that play into your meat eating, your protein consumption, what you think about protein today?
100% it played a massive part. I mean, yeah, it's crazy how much that influences you. And I also saw Game Changers. That also was a bit of a like shock. It felt like cold water, like, oh, like why did I worry about this so much before?
Yeah.
But whatever. So it was also, I honestly think a lot of it was misinformation.
Yeah.
Like it's a culture in athletic circles that you need to be on the safe side on protein. No one even really discusses about the details of that, but it's just this like you got to make sure you have enough.
As much as you can.
Basically.
As much as you can. Yeah.
And then that directly translate, and I think it's a cultural thing to like, well, that means you have to eat your steaks and your protein. And that's what the people around you do, and then you just that's what you do. And I grew up, eating meat, so it was a natural transition. But I definitely started worrying more about that, keeping track of that, and eating more because of it. And then I think in your head, it's easy to associate that to like health as well. It's like, well, if I want to be a strong, fast, man, I got to make sure I have enough protein.
Yeah.
And so then you perpetuate that even after, beyond when you're worried about like competition, or, like, being on your A game or whatever.
Sweet.
Is ready?
Okay, good. Sweet. Thank you so much. Let's see him. Let's see him. Proper French way.
I don't know about the French way, but it's soup. Oh. Not bad. It's pretty light, but it's good. Usually there's a thick cheese crust all over, but I guess that's challenging. But we do have a little cheese on the bread, so. Danish.
Dis-moi.
You were not vegan.
Yeah, I was not.
Now you are vegan.
Yeah.
I am not vegan. Can you tell me the one most surprising thing that you found out about being vegan? Like, what did you absolutely not expect going in that turned out?
Maybe the gas.
See, this is the way I need to know.
That only lasts for like a week. Two. Dude, when I went,
guys at the
dude,
start?
when I went vegan the first time, dude, I felt so bad for my coworkers. I was like, I'm eating beans and stuff. Dude, I was in the office. This is when we're still in the office. Dude, my stomach was just hurting, and I would just like drop in these gas. And it was so embarrassing because they all probably knew this. It was.
Did you tell them that you were
No, I didn't.
becoming vegan?
Yeah, they knew that. Yeah, they knew that. They knew that. I was like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing. It was the nastiest gas I ever dropped. We're so used to eating. I think in like the U.S. I mean, I'm gonna throw these numbers out. I don't know if they're exactly right, but something like the recommendations should be 40 grams a day per person. I think on average in the U.S. they eat about 20 grams a day per person of fiber. And I was eating 80 grams.
Oh, okay.
And so, and fiber's really good for you, but it's like if you just go from like 20 to 80, like your body is yeah, your body's gonna be punishing you socially, basically. That is actually a real answer. Like, that is true. I did not expect that. But I think another thing too is, I wasn't expecting, and people like don't believe me, but I wasn't expecting how easy it was gonna be. Like, it's actually very easy. But that's one of the reasons I'm trying to do this, because it's like once you realize how easy it is to do, when you're trying to like get people to go vegan, you're like, I promise you, like it's really not that hard, and like you eat amazing, like you're still eating amazing food. We talked about it once, but the only downside is sometimes when I'm traveling, which is barely ever, I can't just walk into any store and
Yeah.
be confident they're gonna have an option, but it's so easy. Like it's really, really such an easy switch, and I wish people knew that and understood it and believed it. I think another thing too is like I thought I was gonna have to give up ice cream and macaroni and cheese, my favorite foods. I eat so much ice cream now.
Vegan ice
I
cream.
used to get a lot of ice cream. Yeah, I still have macaroni and cheese. I eat brownies, I eat banana bread, I eat sushi. I'm about to eat some cocoa vin. You know, I still basically consume so much of the food that I used to consume. I eat more food than I ever did. I eat curries that I never ate before. I still don't eat salads. I didn't eat salads before. Still don't eat salads. Hate salads. Well, you're more vegan than I am.
Do you think that part of why you're enjoying food a lot more now as well is you're more conscious about it and you're paying more attention about what you're eating?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
And I think yeah, it is. And I think like that part of veganism has been sort of a blessing when we have to really understand what different foods do to our body and where we can get different nutrients from. So I think by becoming vegan, I had to start looking into where I was getting these different nutrients.
Yeah.
And then I started experimenting with different foods and trying to get different varieties of foods. And yeah, I think being cognizant of it all has really helped me.
I got to follow up, Anthony.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So I heard, I don't remember from who or when,
Yeah.
I heard that like when people go vegetarian or vegan,
Yeah.
it can happen that they put on weight.
Yeah.
Did that happen to you?
No, but I'm a very meticulous person, so I started, because I knew that I was going to be switching diets, I started counting my calories and making sure that I was having enough
Alright.
calories, so I was
Okay.
not overeating calories.
Or were you anticipating that? Is that why you were doing that? Or it's just how you eat?
Well, you know what? I think it was because it coincided with me also getting more into fitness.
Okay.
Because I initiated it for health reasons anyway, so I wanted to make sure I was eating enough calories to be gaining weight, because at the time I wanted to bulk up and gain weight. So I think that
The beans.
yeah, hence the beans overload, hence the protein overload. Yeah, and I think a lot of people might gain weight too. I don't know. Like I guess people could gain weight if they're eating a lot of Beyond Burgers, a lot of the processed foods.
I heard it's because again, this is from
Yeah.
a vague memory, but I thought that it was because the portion of carbs, it's easy for that to go up
Yeah.
if you don't smartly or consciously replace, I guess, the protein or something. It's me, like, is that real? Is that a thing that happens?
Yeah, I don't think that's the case, because the thing is the more of the good carbs you eat, so like beans, whole grains, the better it is for weight management, the better it is for your health outcomes. So I don't think it's that, especially if you're consuming whole unprocessed foods. And I think for me, like when I just exclusively eat whole unprocessed foods, I find it really easy to control my weight.
I feel like I need to explain a little bit. So, this is steak. That's pretty straightforward. This is tartiflette, which is a very important dish. It comes from the mountains. This is what you have if you go skiing. This right here. It's potatoes, cheese, lardons, cream. It's a mountain people dish. And this is coq au vin, also French classic. And I did not expect to eat any of this tonight. I can tell you that. So it's pretty awesome.
All right, well let's dig in.
Let's do it. I guess this is the cook, the rooster, and this is some potatoes. The sauce is good. Red wine. Very nice.
How does it taste?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like I guess Americans would call it gravy, but like stewy vibes. Yeah, tastes great.
Le coq au vin. Well, no, this is delicious. Gravy. I mean, it's meaty. Tastes like duck or chicken, whatever. Like cook. French cook. Rooster, yeah.
French cook.
Tastes like French cook. It's very good though.
With gravy.
Let's try the Let's try the
Hey, you want to try now?
potato, yeah. Okay, yeah. All right, let's try my mountain meal. Oh, look at that! Holy moly! All right. Some say it's too much, but I say it's just enough.
Is it hot? Too hot to handle.
So, I don't actually like this one that much.
No? Is it creamy?
It's creamy, but it's not. It's like missing like salt. I don't think it's like flavorful. Maybe get a little bit more. Well, it's a bummer. Yeah, it's not that flavorful. I don't know. That's what I think. But texture's really good.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's potatoes. Of course, it's good.
Tartiflette. Creamy. I think it's missing a bit of the cheesy kind of
agree.
molten cheese kind of vibe. But then it's a tough ask. It's good though.
More generous than me.
I'm going back in. So. Okay.
Let's go for the steak. So this is the 3D steak, 3D printed steak.
Should I cut it? Damn, you can cut it. This is crazy. It smells good. It has like kind of charred, something burning good smell, you know? Oh, this is like fibrous. That's pretty crazy. I've never had something like that. Like I can tell it's not this piece of steak, but undeniably it has like a meaty. It has like a pulled beef kind of vibe. It's weird. That's extremely impressive. That's very medium. Like for real. Wait, when's the last time you had steak?
Oh God, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago, probably.
Alright.
All right, you didn't put any of this stuff on it, right?
Not yet, I'll try it next. I guess it's like a garlic butter.
All right, let's take a. All right. What the?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
My body's not used to this anymore. Whoa. That's. What the hell? That's so meaty. That's crazy. I'm speechless. That's like fibrousy
Yeah.
or whatever. Like, wow. That's amazing. You guys have to try this. 100%. Whoa.
I mean, you're making me say the stupidest thing I've ever said. Again, this is like an optical illusion for your mouth. Not optical, but a savory illusion. This feels like a legit meal, you know? Like I would have that on a daily basis. This is some experimental stuff that feels a bit odd, but really good.
So now you're talking about the environmental aspect of eating a plant-based diet earlier. Have you ever thought about it from the animal's perspective?
I have. I do every so often.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. I know my position on it, which is clearly I'm not so concerned about the ethics of it, or I would just stop.
Yeah.
Right, and the actions talk more than your
Yeah,
words.
totally.
On the other hand, I don't think I can give good rational arguments
Yeah.
to justify my position
Yeah.
fully. Like if I think through it, I don't think I can be like oh, this is why I'm doing this or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, I totally get the other side.
Yeah.
If I really had to conjure up like something that explains my side, there would be some degree of like, well, I don't know, that's life, and like,
Yeah.
you know, it's not all about. It feels like violence and that kind of stuff is a part of how
Yeah.
we're built and stuff. But on the other hand, I think it's very easily dismissible because I think, I don't know, like, humans are also built to fight each other, and that's not a good reason to do it.
100%.
It's a weird one. I wonder if that'll evolve as well.
Yeah.
I think about it.
Yeah.
Yourself.
The way, I mean, and you've heard me say this before, but like the way that changed the way that I looked at it was, is like the pleasure that I get from eating a certain meal, like a non-vegan meal. First of all, is it worth a dog's life? You know, if you think of like a cute little dog, is it worth their life? You know?
Important context. I'm allergic to animal fur, so I've never had a pet,
Oh, really?
which might explain a lot.
Wait, but what about like just but you know, you see them on TV.
Sure. Yeah. You do, I guess. I don't know.
I guess what I was getting with that was, you know, and if it's not worth a dog's life, what's the difference between a pig's life and a cow's life? You know?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, is the pleasure we get worth an animal's life?
I mean, yeah. I don't think I have a great counter argument to that. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's all empathy, anyways.
Yeah.
Like, there's no super rational reason why even like violence and harm is fundamentally bad, other than the fact that we identify it as
Yeah.
a suffering's cost.
Yeah.
So it all comes down to like, oh, if that were me,
Exactly.
that would suck.
Exactly.
I would, I shouldn't wish that upon someone else.
100%.
And since it's empathy based, I would argue, yeah, I also understand why the majority of non-vegans are freaked out at the idea of a dog.
Yeah.
Because a dog is a very, like that thing, I think it's very easy to have an empathetic connection to.
Of course, yeah.
The dog is dependent on you. It's
Yeah.
like all its attention is on you,
Yeah,
etc.,
yeah.
etc. And maybe less on a chicken because most people haven't had a chicken as a pet.
Yeah.
And I think it's more easily dismissible. As
Yeah.
you feel maybe less empathy
Yeah.
towards that, which is probably what explains why we meat eaters are not so
Yeah.
concerned about that. But again, I don't know if that's
No, but you're right. It's like,
it doesn't explain, it doesn't justify it.
right. I think you're right. Like we recognize that dogs want to live and they have personalities, but we're not as exposed to chickens or pigs
Yeah.
or cows. So
Yeah.
it's harder for us to make the connection. I got a question for you. Is an animal someone or something?
Neither. Am I allowed to answer that?
As long as you justify it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I feel like something for me is something devoid of life.
Yeah.
Someone for me has a profound human meaning.
Yeah.
This is my species kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think that matters as well. Like
Yeah.
whilst I cannot defend really rationally my stance on meat eating
Yeah.
from an ethical perspective with concrete arguments, what I do feel I can defend is like, of course I identify with my species more.
Yeah, yeah,
Of course that's a special
Yeah.
status for me.
Yeah.
And that's someone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like it don't fit in either or.
Okay.
It's not something, but I wouldn't call it someone.
Let's say it's like you have a friend who they have a dog. Would you call the dog an it or a he or a she?
Honestly, I'm not even lying. I find it really difficult to call dogs he and she.
Really?
Yeah, because
Would you call them it?
I every time I think it's like an awkward process.
Yeah.
You know what? I think we need gender pronouns for
Yeah.
animals.
Yeah.
Like dedicated. I'm
Yeah.
joking or half joking, obviously, but I find it difficult because I don't know. I've never had a pet. I can't tell if it's like he or she
Yeah.
or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But in my head, if I'm talking intuitively,
Yeah.
it would be feels like a semantics problem that is maybe more because there's a bad linguistic solution.
Yeah.
Rather than like it means that it is a he or she
Yeah.
or it or whatever.
For me, the way that I see it is, I don't think it's semantics. For me, I think the language part in this element is important because I think that when we objectify an animal or anything, it makes it much easier to disassociate and dismiss them.
Yeah, for sure.
Like when I talk about dairy cows, I usually say she
Yeah,
because she's a mother.
yeah,
They are mothers. And I certainly, if I had a dog, my friend's dog, if I had a pet and someone called them it, I'd be like, motherfucker, he. It, what the f? That's like so disrespectful.
yeah,
You know? He, she, they, if you don't know the gender. I don't want, this is just my opinion. I certainly see animals as someone because they're certainly not something. And if I had a dog or a cat, I would certainly call them someone. You know, who's hungry, they have a personality, he, she, whatever. A lot of people would consider dogs someone, but they would consider cows something.
yeah, yeah.
And at least be consistent. You know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Well, I think it's telling of maybe what I was saying earlier, which is like, it's maybe like a sign of do you have an empathetic relationship to this being?
Yeah.
Like, you know, if yes, then the most appropriate linguistic tool to
Yeah.
use is like a humanizing kind of thing, which is he or she.
Yeah.
But again, in my mind, that's just maybe more of a defective language
Yeah.
rather than like a fundamental rule. But it does show a lot. Like you're
Yeah.
100%. Like, of course, that's what. That clarifies or makes a difference between. Wait, please don't harm this.
Yeah. Or don't harm
Or-
them. You know, don't harm them, you know? It's really funny. I saw this Reddit post the other day, a year ago, 2 years ago. I don't know when I saw it. But basically, I think it drew the distinction really well between how we treat animals. And it said, it was something like dog helps his owner by stopping cow from getting to its calf. But it was such a mind because in that one sentence, they were calling the dog a he and the cow an it.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like the language
Yeah.
is important because on the
Oh, for
one
sure.
hand, we're saying, oh, they matter, but the other one doesn't.
For sure.
You know?
It's very telling.
Anyways, that's why I was asking like someone, something distinction because I feel like it's much harder to justify what we do to someone versus what we do to something.
I think it is. And I think, honestly, yeah, maybe like a hang out long enough with a cow. I'm sure I would want to call the cow a sheep. I'm guaranteed.
There
Of
we
course,
go.
I'm
There we
not-
go. Yeah,
I
exactly.
know that.
Exactly.
Because it's about bonding with another
With them,
life
right?
thing.
With them.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I got him. It's good. Passing the test.
It's good. It's quite crumbly. I guess it's hard to do the exact kind of like fine structure, but it tastes.
Let's see the inside.
It tastes great. The flavor is really nice. I mean, it tastes creamy, which is pretty wild.
All right, here we go. All right. Mmm. This one's not so crumbly, actually. This one's actually very, very good. Give it a try. Give it a go.
Sorry, I couldn't wait. That is really good.
Was it crumbly? I think it wasn't crumbly.
Yeah, a bit different consistency. They're delicious. The flavor is really nice. I think we should get more of these to go.
Well, Kemi, thanks so much for coming. And what do you think of the food?
Oh, it was amazing. I did not expect the menu items. There were like half of them had meat in them,
Yeah.
and they were all delicious.
Yeah.
I would come here again for sure.
What was your favorite standout?
I mean, the craziest was the steak, for sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like part of that is because I've never had that. Although it tasted really good as well. But I think as a meal, I want to know how to make that coq au vin vegan salad. It was really good.
That was really good. Cool. Well, is there anything you want to plug or anything you wanna shout out?
Not really. What did I share that last time? I don't remember.
You didn't share anything.
Share your channel.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends, vegan, non-vegan, everyone.
How many times should I watch it?
At least 3, just to make sure that you got all the
Exactly.
angles.
So gotta make sure that you count.
Um,
Well, cool. Well, Camille, thanks so much for coming. Thanks for the Frenchman's opinion of the restaurant. And
yes. I expect to have more French food with you.
excellent. Cool. Well, thanks so much for coming, and we'll see you all in the next one.
Cheers. Bye.